Next, we have Jackie Thompson, a fellow board member. When the tour came along, Jackie had actually finished harvesting. So he took us to his friend, Steve Nelms, and he's going to talk about that. Jackie?
The only thing I can say after Robert spoke is ditto. Robert did a great job. I'm 72 years old. Tobacco farming is the only thing I've ever known. I got a 47-year-old son that loves to farm better than Peter ever loved Jesus. But I'm talking to the choir right now, because you understand where I'm coming from. He's beginning to get very discouraged by it. Not by just tobacco farming, but farming in general. But all the rules and regulations we have to deal with, it's just very hard for us to deal with, is it not, my fellow farmers? You know, I've been involved in a lot of different farm groups in my life. Farm Bureau, Farm Credit, Tobacco Growers Association, and Tobacco Associates here. Somebody said, why do you do that? I said, because anything I'm involved with, I want to be there at the meeting that decisions are made. I don't believe in store talk rhetoric and bitching and moaning about something that I was not able to help decide what was going on. We're at the impasse tobacco is as we know it in the United States. I remember years ago when I was farming with my dad, as a lot of you were in here as well. We really didn't worry about anything, did we? Because Daddy was always there. We didn't know what kind of issues or trials, tribulations he was going through, did we not? Until we looked around one day, he wasn't there no more. I'm not going to apologize to you for being emotional, because that's who I am. I'm as compassionate about farming as anybody in this world. And I'm very compassionate about tobacco, because it's a way of life that I've always known, I've always appreciated. I've educated my children, I've reared my children, churches have been built, universities have been built with it, and some of those have turned their back on us, have they not? Very disappointing. But I'm standing here to tell you that I believe in tobacco. I believe in this group right here that I'm fortunate to be a part of, to be a board director. Especially that day this past fall when I was on Steve Nelms' farm. And that bus door, Robert, that came to your farm, that came to ours and Steve's as well. When it opened up and those excited people from 12 different countries got off that bus to see what was going on. And the same thing happened that day in Steve's farm that happened on yours, Robert. They were running up down the field beside that stripper. They were asking questions. And Steve was bringing some of the best tobacco out of the barns that I was ashamed that I couldn't even grow anything like that. He was bringing some B3Fs out of the barn that day. I don't know what they are today, Coconut, but you know, you guys and Scott know exactly, and all you farmers know exactly what I was talking about. The best testimony for U.S. flue-cured tobacco that ever could be, I was a part of that day. And the friendships we made, oh yes, we were from many different countries. But when we went to that meeting that night, the farewell dinner that Hank said about, we were embracing each other, getting phone numbers, email addresses. That's what it's all about. And you know, if we don't all stand together, and I sat back there a few minutes ago, I said, what can I share with these people that'll make a great impact on them? Together we stand, and divided we're going to fall. And it starts right here in these 5 tobacco producing states in eastern United States, where the best tobacco in the world is grown. Because all these people from all these other countries, wherever they may come from, what will they tell us when they're on their farm, when they're on our farms? The best tobacco in the world is grown right here. We've talked about a few minutes ago. I talked to some other people. I stood around this morning from eastern North Carolina, from up into the middle belt, what I call where I am from and Steve is from, all the way up into the old belt, where Robert and some of you up and Tim Yarber and all up in the western part of the state. Different styles of tobacco, but all fit wonderfully in the package of a cigarette that is smoked all over the world. I challenge each and every one of us to stand together. Our farm groups need to stand together, because I have been involved in farm groups several years ago, and some of you in this room know what I'm talking about, that we divided until we came together in a meeting and we talked and laid everything out on the table, and then that divisiveness went to a cohesiveness. Let's do not divide ourselves. Let's stand together as farmers, primarily tobacco farmers, because there is no I in team. I salute tobacco associates. I salute our 2 staff members. They are just working themselves for us, and it's very difficult for us to do what we did with the budget we have. And you remember years ago when we had £1 billion. Isn't that what we had years ago? £1 billion of flue-cured tobacco. Can you imagine what the budget was with tobacco associates then versus $300 million, whatever it may be in simple figures? Do the math. Do the math. We're working in a very diminished budget, but trying to do harder work to sell our crop all over the world. I thank you for what all of you do in this room, for your undying encouragement and love for growing tobacco, just as all of us do. And long live U.S. tobacco. Thank you.